In the relentless pace of modern life, many of us find ourselves besieged by stress. We're overwhelmed by the demands of our daily routines and on the brink of burnout. Such emotional turbulence, as we're coming to realize, doesn't just drain our energy. It lays the groundwork for elements of depression and anxiety. Yet hope may be found in unexpected places. Timeless teachings of ancient Taoist philosophers beckon us with a different way of understanding and confronting life's challenges. Their words serve as an antidote to our modern elements, presenting a philosophy that could soothe our frayed nerves. You see, from the Taoist perspective, the very moment we exert undue force on the world, we deviate from nature's path. And this very act of forcing, of constantly trying to dominate and control, is akin to paddling against the current. Not only is it exhausting, but it also brings its own set of problems. As we observe today's world, this idea resonates. We, as societies, relentlessly push against life's ebb and flow. We aim to master nature, bend it to our will, and manipulate things far beyond our genuine sphere of influence. We live in an illusion of control, deluding ourselves into believing we can micromanage our destinies. Yet the ancient Taoist sages advocated for the opposite: the art of surrender, the beauty of letting go. Consider the wisdom of Laozi, the elusive author of the Tao Te Ching. He paints a picture of nature as a self-regulating, harmonious entity, one left undisturbed, where every leaf, every drop of water finds its place and purpose. His teachings challenge our contemporary obsessions with interference and control, suggesting that perhaps by doing less, more can be achieved. Our perpetual quest for external happiness often leaves us drained and discontented. By clinging too tightly to externalities, we unwittingly become the architects of our misery. The relentless pursuit of happiness, paradoxically, is what keeps us in a state of unease. Our desperation to avoid unhappiness breeds the very anxiety we wish to escape. Instead of holding on to our rigid beliefs and external validations, I suggest we embrace the void, the unknown. By acknowledging the transience of life, recognizing the ever-flowing nature of the universe, and aligning ourselves with its rhythms, we can find genuine contentment. Letting go of this context isn't a sign of defeat, but rather a profound understanding of life itself. But what is the goal? A life of greater ease, free from the constant grip of worry. A harmonious existence guided by the Tao, that universal principle that weaves itself through all things. In this video, we shall delve into the ancient wisdom of Taoism and explore timeless ideas that stand as potential antidotes to the madness of our times. They offer a path to tranquility, a way to lessen our burdens of anxiety in a world that often seems to spiral beyond our control. Antidote 1. The art of non-interference. Sages practiced the art of inaction. They understood a profound truth. Sometimes the best action is no action at all. They refrained from meddling with nature's rhythms, and in doing so, allowed things to unfurl and blossom as they should. Contrast this with our modern world, where a restless compulsion for constant proactivity reigns. A culture where being idle is often seen as a flaw, a shortcoming. We've grown so accustomed to constant movement that the mere idea of pausing seems radical, even dangerous. Imagine you're in a garden and you notice a butterfly struggling mightily to emerge from its cocoon. Moved by its plight, you decide to help. Gently, you cut open the cocoon, allowing the butterfly to come out with ease. But instead of seeing it soar, you watch as it remains grounded, its body swollen and wings shriveled. Even with the best of intentions, your active interference robs the butterfly of its necessary struggle to strengthen its wings for flight. We push, pull, and prod life, desperate for it to yield to our desires. But more often than not, this only leads to unnecessary stress, a depletion of our energies, and mounting anxieties. However, when we step back and allow things to unfold organically, we begin to notice the inherent wisdom in life's rhythms. We start to realize that not every problem requires our intervention. Many dilemmas resolve themselves in time. And as we embrace this philosophy of non-interference, we also recognize a deeper truth. What appears as misfortune today might be a hidden blessing, while the very thing we chase after might bring unforeseen challenges. The universe, in its vast and mysterious ways, always follows its path, and trying to force its hand is a futile endeavor. Antidote 2. The illusion of pursuit. Imagine seeing countless individuals all racing tirelessly towards what they believe is happiness. The sage observed just this. He couldn't determine if they were genuinely pursuing happiness or a mere illusion of it. But one thing was clear. The relentless pursuit often made them appear worn out and discontented. Zhuangzi questioned the essence of this chase. If hunting for happiness only darkens our days, wouldn't it make more sense to cease this quest? Many strive for material rewards like wealth and fame, believing they hold the keys to contentment. And for a brief moment, they might experience it. But soon after attaining these, a new fear creeps in, the fear of loss. These fleeting pleasures come hand in hand with the anxiety of them slipping away. True contentment isn't about chasing after well-being, but rather letting go of the desperate need for it. By not obsessing over requiring happiness, we eliminate the dual anxieties of achieving and not achieving. Instead of being caught up in this never-ending chase, we'd find joy in the present simply because we're no longer bound by the need to attain it. Antidote 3. Embracing the void. We often seek validation, craving the high that comes from praise and recognition. This desire for acknowledgement tends to add unnecessary weight to our lives. The less concerned we are with seeking approval, the fewer burdens we carry. Often, we're celebrated for things that aren't entirely within our control. Many achievements credited to us might be the result of favorable circumstances or inherent traits. Take, for instance, the commendations heaped upon those recognized for their looks on platforms like Instagram. Isn't their beauty mostly the combination of genetics and current societal standards? So, whose achievement is it really? Rather than getting caught up in this continuous cycle of seeking validation, why not find solace and simplicity in introspection? Recognizing the inherent emptiness in these superficial pursuits can lead to a more profound sense of calm and contentment. Many pursuits we deem vital are, in truth, transients. We often engage in these endeavors to distract ourselves from life's inherent void. However, by acknowledging and embracing this emptiness, by stepping away from the perpetual race for fulfillment, we might just discover a more authentic sense of peace and purpose. Antidote 4. Embracing our inner balance. Overextending ourselves only sets us up for imbalance. Consider this. If you're always on tiptoes, you're bound to wobble. Or if you're always rushing forward, you might miss the details and stumble. The idea isn't just about physical balance. It's about the precarious situations we put ourselves in when we desperately try to control things beyond our grasp. Isn't it true that when we let external factors dominate our actions and feelings, we become slaves to our circumstances? The outside world, with its unpredictability, begins to shape our moods and choices. When we stretch to dominate our surroundings, those very things start dominating us. Every win becomes a fleeting moment of joy. Every setback, a deep well of despair. Doesn't it seem counterintuitive to be so influenced by factors beyond our control? This is like trying to stand taller by tiptoeing, never realizing that true stature comes from inner strength and stability. The real power lies within, in mastering our thoughts and feelings. Instead of being swayed by the ever-changing world outside, why not focus on cultivating our inner landscape? After all, the external world might be tumultuous, but we have the agency to shape our internal reactions. Rather than constantly seeking satisfaction from the world around us, we should recognize that true contentment emerges from within. When we stop thirsting for external validation, we find a steady footing in our self-worth. Antidote 5. Embracing uncertainty. One of the greatest ironies of life is that our fear of the uncertain often causes more turmoil than the actual outcome we dread. Take the case of an archer, proficient and sure in his solitary practice, but faltering when a reward is on the line. Why does this happen? It's not his skills that have diminished, but rather the looming pressure of what if. So how do we navigate the future laden with the unknown, where both joys and pitfalls lie in wait? There's a tale about an elderly man from the Chicken Kingdom who was consumed by anxiety that the sky might fall, leaving him with no refuge. His friend tried to comfort him with reassurances, while the sage offered the perspective that, although the possibility was remote, it still existed. The twist in the story comes with the sage's next words, which boiled down to this sentiment: why lose ourselves in speculation about things beyond our control? If the world remains intact, fantastic, we proceed without a hitch. But if the unthinkable happens, our worry won't prevent it. So why squander our peace of mind? In essence, fretting about the unknown doesn't change the outcome. It only robs us of our presence. Drawing from the timeless wisdom of Taoist sages, we are reminded that pondering the fate of the earth or any existential uncertainties, for that matter, can be a fruitless endeavor. These grand events, if they ever transpire, remain firmly outside our realm of influence. The mysteries of existence, whether contemplating the afterlife or navigating life's unforeseen challenges like job losses or the conclusion of a marriage, can often cloud our judgments. We may hastily label them as misfortunes when, in reality, they might be serendipitous turns in our journey. In the grand tapestry of life, many threads are woven without our direct involvement. Embracing this perspective, as the Taoists advocate, frees us from the shackles of worry and allows us to savor the present with a lighter heart. My dear friends, I genuinely want to express my heartfelt gratitude for joining me on this journey. Your presence and support mean the world to me. If you found value in this content, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with your friends and loved ones. Your support helps us grow and continue to bring more enlightening content your way. Stay wonderful, and remember to always embrace the present. Until next time.